All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start out by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. So, Brother Shawab, I'm Juan back at you with another lesson. And this one's going to be a quick little hit, real quick. All right, prepare for the spread and the rerun of 2020 lockdowns. All right, and basically, I did a video on this yesterday, also, or was the day before, going into the Hanta virus. All right, which is apparently is spreading throughout everywhere now. All right, which I'm gonna play a couple newer videos I ran into today on Instagram. All right. And basically, all right, it's looking like they're going to try to rerun 2020. Okay. Bring in that lockdown. All right. Telling you that this thing is getting spread, all over the place. All right. And, this is definitely a way for Esau to use it to his advantage and try to lock us down with it, So let me grab this. I gotta try to be quick because I ain't got too much battery. Matter of fact, let me just plug this in. So I don't have to. All right. So yeah, this is Salaki, I'm getting to it right now. All right, so you got it says scientists race to develop hantavirus vaccine. All right, amid outbreak on cruise ship. Okay, so look, they're already trying to make this yo jabba jabba. All right, what a coincidence! They already dropped. All right, and they're already coming up with a shalom, sister Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Barakatah. They already just dropped, and all of a sudden they're already on a race to make this yo jabba jabba. Okay, and best believe if you take that's end game for you. All right, because this ain't gonna be no jab from 2020. All right, this ain't no jab from 2021. This ain't boosters from 2021. This is gonna be one that's definitely gonna depopulate, because right now they're in the process of depopulating as many people as they can. Okay, so let's read it real quick. It says well, I pretty much did read it. I thought it was going to be, yeah, this is what it looked like. Okay. And then I got another video right here. It says CDC reporting 110 plus sick on Princess cruise ship during norovirus outbreak. It says more than 110 sick in Princess Cruise norovirus outbreak. This was on May 7th. All right, we're in May 8th. It says more than 110 people got sick in a norovirus outbreak on Princess cruise ship. Among the 3,116 guests sailing aboard the line's Caribbean Princess vessel, 102 reported being ill during its current voyage. Along the 13 crew members, according to the Centers for Disease Control. All right. Let me see what else they got in here. Let me play the actual video.
Okay, this is getting really concerning. First, we're talking about hantavirus outbreaks today. And now reportedly 110 people have gotten sick on a Princess cruise ship during an active norovirus outbreak. According to the CDC, over 100 passengers and at least 13 crew members on the Caribbean Princess started reporting symptoms such as
and see, this is what's crazy. Like, people gonna get sick, especially with all this shit going on with the pollen season. I mentioned this yesterday. Pollen season came late, so pollen season is heavy right now. People got the sniffles. A lot of people don't react good to allergies. All right. Not only that, on top of the allergies and the pollen, they're spraying shit in the damn skies. You know, you got the barium, the aluminum, they got other shit that's being sprayed in the skies going into chemtrails. All right. And all that is coming down on us at the same time, right? And then check this out. Something I ran across. This was like 2 days ago. I ran across this this article, right? Check this out. It says stay indoors. Warning issued for 500,000 people as lung penetrating toxins fill the air. See, so put it together, right? There's shit going on in the air. Lung penetrating toxins fill the air. Okay, and they're telling you to stay indoors. And now they're talking about this hantavirus. Now they're talking about another variant separate from the hantavirus. Is basically a norovirus, which noroviruses basically make you, you know, shit yourself, throw up. Okay, and then when you go look at the hantavirus, it's the same fucking symptoms, right? Then if you go look at allergy season, right, symptoms is all around the same shit. So Esau uses this to his advantage. All right, so let's read this article and I'll go back to that video real quick. All right, so it says this was on Newsbreak, and it says warning issued for 500,000 people as lung penetrating toxins fill the air. Stay indoors. It says nearly 500,000 Americans have been warned to stay indoors and keep their windows shut as the levels of airborne toxins have skyrocketed near the Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast. Air quality monitoring stations in the South have detected a 150-mile wide plume of polluted air hovering over parts of Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas Thursday morning. Okay, so they're telling you about this shit, man. My bad. Let me go into it because I can only read so far. I'm getting a headache just talking about this shit. Wow. It says the worst of the air pollution has been centered over Shreveport in the northern Louisiana, home to more than 380,000 people in its greater metropolitan area alone. Multiple air quality monitoring outlets have deemed the air in this region to be very unhealthy. All right. And just imagine how many other places around the world, all right, not even around the world, around United States, okay, is going down. Remember, we have fires going around in the United States. We got chemical plants being blown the hell up. All right. You got fires with a lot of warehouses being put up in the air. And who knows what they're doing with the air at the same time that all these different things are happening. All right. So actually what they're saying, stay indoors is probably your best move. All right, because we're in dangerous times anyway, man. Scriptures talk about be circumspect, redeeming the times because the days is evil. So not only are we just in, you know, war, you know, with Iran and, you know, worldwide. All right, you also have Jacob's trouble coming, but you also have medical warfare. You also have chemical warfare being spread throughout the whole entire earth, man. Esau hitting us from all different types of angles right now, man. This is why brothers keep saying something big is happening. What's happening is just so many different angles this devil can attack from. So we know something big is coming, but what is he going to use to make this big thing happen, you know? And that's why we have to constantly continue to be watchmen and continually keep watching the news and reporting to you live, man, because this devil could just come out of nowhere with anything. Okay. So it says, it says nodding, very unhealthy, nodding a sharp rise in the levels of fine particulate matter, also known as PM2.5. These microscopic particles of toxic compounds or heavy metals are often produced by factories. See, by factories. And what do you see right now? You see a lot of these factories getting blown up. A lot of these factories is closing down, warehouses being emptied out. All right. So who knows what these devils is doing? It says, where was I? Produced by factories and car exhaust small enough to penetrate deep into the lungs. And that's crazy because imagine he's spraying shit in the air. When you drive your car takes in the air, right? You got your cold air intake. It takes in the air that's going in the outside, and it actually goes through your car, and then it comes out of your exhaust. So imagine what it's doing with those chemicals that's already in your car. Okay, got to put these things together. It says small enough to penetrate deep into the lungs. They can cause inflammation, breathing difficulties, and other health issues when inhaled. In Chevreport, it says the air quality index, AQI, has risen to 250, according to the World Air Quality Index Project, a nonprofit providing real-time air pollution data for hundreds of countries. Air quality levels are measured on a scale from 0 to 500, with 0 being the healthiest. When outdoor air quality approaches to 300 to 500 hazardous zone, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency warns that everyone should avoid all physical activity outside. Okay. Then on top of that, right now, it's crazy ass tick season. As a matter of fact, in the last couple days, when I worked on Wednesday, when I worked on Thursday morning, all right, found straight ticks on my ass. And I wasn't even deep in the woods, man. You know, I just did some little, I mean, it was a little high grass I was at, but ticks is everywhere. So you got Bill Gates throwing ticks all over people. You know, you got your government tossing these ticks around people. Places that normally don't have ticks, okay? People are finding them more and more, okay? What else, you know, what other damn insects is out there that's being affected? We don't know, you know, so we have to be careful from staying outside, all right? And now people about to get loose and get ready for the wet, because the weather's about to drop and stay steady now. It kind of been going up and down like a seesaw right now, but once it hits back to them 80s and 90s again, it's pretty much gonna stay there. And then it's just gonna get extra hot. It's gonna be real hot, and then people gonna start going back to going outside and barbecuing and all that. And see, that's how you get caught up. All right. It says the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality confirmed that PM 2.5 had risen into the danger zone for human health. All right. It says air pollution at this level can cause respiratory issues such as asthma to worsen and contribute to heart attacks, strokes that can cause premature death. All right. And you got at least fucking 60% of America's caught up on cigarettes, unhealthy lifestyles, you know, unhealthy eating, you know, so they're already polluted. Okay. Well, it just pulls up right in front of my car. Oh, okay. So, you know, people already in unhealthy lifestyles, man. So these things will make it even worse. Okay. It says AccuWeather warned in an alert, healthy individuals are likely to experience healthy individuals are likely to experience difficult breathing and throat irritation. So if they're healthy, imagine how much more of those that are not healthy. Those are gonna pretty much die off, you know. And then by you getting sick, the first thing they're gonna say is you got a Hanta. You know, you got the Hanta, you got the neuro, okay, whatever. You see, and then these dumb people don't have no faith, right? They don't have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. They don't understand that all healing comes of the Heavenly Father, right? As a matter of fact, real quick, because I've just been rambling on. This is 103 and 4, excuse me, in Psalms, and it reads 103 and 3. Bless the Lord Yahweh, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases. You see? So healing comes of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. It tells you that in Ecclesiastes 38th chapter. All right, all healing comes of the Most High, right? Then when you go down to verse 9, it tells you forget not. Let me just grab it so I don't butcher it. Right, this is Ecclesiastes 38 and 9, and it reads, my son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord Yahushua, and he will make thee whole. You see? So the Lord is the one that makes you whole again. All right. Verse 2 tells you, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. So these people don't know about that. These people going to run to the hospitals. They're going to run to physicians of no value, forgers of lies, and they're just going to prescribe them this. They're going to prescribe them that. If even that, the first thing they're just going to tell you, well, you're diagnosed with the Hantanoro. Might put both of them shits together on you, you know? And next thing you know, people panicking. Oh, doctor. Okay, well then, what do you think I should do? Well, I think you should take this new jabba jabba. You know, there you go. Gotcha. Got him. Gotcha, bitch. like what's his name be saying? Dave Chappelle. So, you know, people are so naive, man, and they just quick to run to Egypt for help. All right. And Egypt is pretty much going to put them in a bad predicament. All right. So let's go back to that. It says, healthy individuals are likely to experience difficulty breathing and throat irritation. Consider staying indoors and rescheduling outdoor activities. While microscopic particles of PM 2.5 were driving the air quality alerts Thursday morning, AccuWeather also noted that the levels of larger particles, known as PM 10, have also risen into the unhealthy range. PM 10 is a type of particulate matter made up of tiny solid particles or liquid droplets floating in the air that are less than 10 micrometers in diameter, thinner than human hair, but still noticeably larger than the PM 2.5. Based on the readings taken over Chevreport, the high concentration of the air pollution has been boosted by a condition called stagnant air. All right. And hey, what happens when water is stagnant? Water becomes polluted. Water becomes algae, right? It just becomes nasty. Well, stagnant air that's not blowing all over the place and continually circling. All right. Basically, it's going to do the same thing. All right. It says, while little to no wind, high atmospheric pressure trap pollution near ground level. To understand the impact of stagnant air on major cities, it is helpful to look at atmospheric pressure. Pressure is measured in millibars, with normal sea level pressure being 1,013 millibars. Anything between 1,015 and 1,020 millibars is considered a high pressure system with strong pressure exceeding 130 millibars. The atmospheric pressure in Chevreport Thursday morning had reached 1,019. High humidity, typically anything over 60%, also plays a major role in trapping air pollution near the ground, as it naturally makes the air thicker. In the Chevreport and National Weather Service noted that humidity in the area has risen to 83%. Okay. It says anyone with heart or lung disease, older adults, children, pregnant people could be especially at risk to this concentrated air pollution and should remain indoors and keep their activity low. Health officials also urge everyone within these zones to keep windows, doors closed to limit outdoor pollution for leaking inside. Using air conditioners or air purifiers can help as well. All right. So you see, we got a hantavirus, we got a norovirus, and now we got basically this these lung penetrating toxins that are in the air. All right. And this is more down south, but man, eventually that shit will come up. They got HAARP. HAARP is able to control, manipulate the weather. They can blow that shit up here if they want to, man. That's what HAARP stations do. It pulls storms. It could blow storms, cause tornadoes, cause hurricanes, all of that. So somehow, some way, it'll make its way around the United States, and he'll come and visit everybody at their house and knock on their door. All right. Now let's go back to that guy. 2 more videos and then I'll start closing it out. All right.
Real Princess started reporting symptoms such as vomiting and severe diarrhea during the voyage. The ship left Florida on April 28th for a nearly 2-week cruise, with stops across the Caribbean, including Aruba, Puerto Rico, even the Bahamas. And the scary part is it's still not scheduled to end until May 11th. Princess Cruises says they have started emergency disinfecting procedures, including isolating sick guests and increased sanitation across the ship. The CDC is now monitoring this outbreak very intensely. And this is freaking people out now because the hantavirus has already struck another cruise ship. And now we're dealing with the norovirus on an active Princess cruise ship.
That shit, yo, that should be crazy as hell. How they be talking like if this shit is a person. It struck this boat, it struck that boat. That should be crazy as hell, man. You know Esau be lying, man. Esau known to lie, right? So let's grab this. I think it's one more.
Big things are happening, folks.
And it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could be far more severe. I mean, this one, it killed millions. It was awful. We got the vaccine. You know, actually, President Trump's leadership was a factor in getting that out quickly. And so when I spoke to him, I said, okay, here's some other medical innovations, including a thing called an HIV cure that could be accelerated. So, you know, we should be more prepared both for pandemic. I'd say that's still number one.
And this nigga been telling you for years they're preparing for the second pandemic. He told you that the first pandemic didn't get their attention, but the second one will, you know. So he's already been plotting for a while, and we know that this devil, all right, will always plot. Okay. As a matter of fact, what's the scripture I'm thinking of?
You can worry about nuclear war. You can worry
Hold
about.
On. Yeah, this is yeah, this is Proverbs 16 and 30, right? And the NLT. Give me 1 second. Going into it right now. It's taking a sweet ass time. I think my phone got the norovirus. Hold on. Yeah, so let's take it from 29. It says, violent people mislead their campaigns, leading them down a harmful path. All right, and that's going into these elites. Right? It says, with narrowed eyes, people plot evil. With a smirk, they plan their mischief. And who got narrowed eyes? You got this devil right here that got narrowed eyes. You guys little glasses looking like a goofball. Your eyes all cross-eyed and shit. Everything he says, he got a little smirk with it, right? It says that people plot evil with a smirk and they plan their mischief. And hey, the scriptures talk about how they boast about their heart's desires, man. You know, so they'll be boasting about what they're going to do as their plan. You know, what's the next pandemic about? And they'll laugh dead ass in your face. And you know what? The rest of the world laughing with him because they taking him as a joke, not understanding that he dead ass serious. You see? He basically telling you this is going to be like a bubonic plague. When you go look up bubonic plague, man, it's a plague that pretty much takes out the whole entire earth. You know? How many movies have you seen out there? All right. What's one that I could think of right off the rip? What's the one? You got Contagion. You got Resident Evil. You got what's the one with Will Smith and the damn dog? Not Hancock. I Am Legend. You know, all those type of movies show you that the earth had got smacked with a plague and everybody got sick, and then people was just, you know, pretty much everybody would died off, you know. So they tell you these things right in front of your face. All right. So it says, let's read that again. It says, violent people mislead their campaigns, right? Salakia, their companions, Salakia, leading them down a harmful path. With narrowed eyes, people plot evil. With a smirk, they plan their mischief. All right. And that's damn sure than this devil, right? You go to Proverbs, the 4th chapter. I haven't gone to that in a while. Right, Proverbs 4 and 16. It reads, it says, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. So they're not going to sleep unless they come with a mischievous plan on how to depopulate people out here, man. All right. It says, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence, man. So they're going to come with violent ways, whether it be through actual war, whether it be through chemical warfare, medical warfare. All right. This devil going to come doing what he do best. All right. Let's go back. Oh, shit. I lost it. I got to go back into it.
And it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could be far more severe. I mean, this one, it killed millions. It was awful. We got the vaccine. You know, actually, President Trump's leadership was a factor in getting that out quickly. And so when I spoke to him, I said, okay, here's some other medical innovations, including a thing called an HIV cure that could be accelerated. So, we should be more prepared both for a pandemic. I'd say that's still number one. You can worry about nuclear war. You can worry about AI. There's plenty to worry about.
There goes the laugh shit. There goes the laugh shit I be talking about. This devil tells you what's going on. He just told you nuclear war, which we all know that nuclear war is coming. That's how this place is going to end, through thermonuclear missiles, right? And then he said AI. AI is a big problem right now. AI is what they're about to, how they're about to introduce this MOTB, everything being connected to AI, everything being connected to the Internet of Things. And then he got to laugh and smirk after that. You see, give it a little evil laugh, because they know exactly what they're planning out. And even these people that are interviewing him in the back, they know what the fuck is going on. They part of the show. They all pawns part of the show also.
No, I mean, it's up to the government to think ahead on behalf of the citizens.
Yes.
So a pandemic, there's a lot that we should be doing that hopefully we'll get our act together before the next one comes. Overall, the innovation in health, both in the developing countries, the rich world, I love being part of that.
I was reading, though, that you said the next pandemic you are predicting within maybe 25 years.
Oh, certainly we'll have one in the next 25 years.
And here go Esau trying to make you think like there's fucking mad time left in this earth. There ain't no damn 25 years here. We ain't even got 2 years up in here. If we had to be here another 2 more years, man, that shit would be fucking insane, But the scriptures tell you, no man know the hour. This is why we got to stay prepared. Hey, the Lord might make us want to suffer here 2 more years. But the way it's looking, it look like we might be out of here by next year. And we say that every year, but every year it gets scarier and scarier. It gets closer and closer to our destination. We're already in the midst of World War III. Things are all the tension is heated up. All right. You already have all these nations standing up against each other, rising up against each other, right? Jacob's trouble, all right, is literally in the midst of us. That shit is whispering in your ear right now. That shit kissing you on your damn neck, making you tingle and shit, right? And all we really want all we need right now is the MOTB to be made mandatory, which that's already here too. Once that MOTB is made mandatory, okay, it's only a matter of time before the missiles fly, you know. And if we go into a lockdown, that's definitely going to usher in that the martial law troops is going to usher in Jacob's trouble. You know, people standing up against their government, which they've been doing that with all these protests and things like that. So everything is heated up to where it needs to be. So I can't see myself here 2 more years. Okay. So damn sure, let alone we're going to be here 25 years. This guy trying to make you feel like you got all the time in the world. See, their inward thought is their house is going to continue forever. You know, and that's the strong delusion that the Lord has got him in. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. You see? They think they about to beat the Heavenly Father. They think they're about to outsmart Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But he got them in a trick bag.
You know, there's even some pathogens out there that we're watching over right now.
That's pretty much the end of it. So he said, listen, man, death is coming. A whole lot of death is coming. Let me see, this is one more.
Given the incubation period of the Andes virus, which can be up to 6 weeks, it's possible that more cases may be reported.
So if they're talking about this new virus is going to have you incubated and in quarantine for 6 weeks, right? That already could tell you that we're going to be in some major lockdowns, because that means people going to have to be in lockdown for 6 weeks automatically, and that'll turn into 8 weeks, possibly 10. Then people that are already incubated in their cribs, in their houses, right? And then the rest of the people that are out here running around freely with the I don't care mentality, well, that's them, that ain't me. Then they get sick, and then they get sick late. So then that prolongs the you know, the quarantine sessions, all of that, man. So it ain't looking good. And if this shit happens right now, right, it's going to be a horrible summer. People going to be quarantined during the summer. So by the time the fall comes, that's really getting sick season right there, because everybody gets sick in the fall, right? Not because of these hantaviruses or traveling. It's because of the change of the weather. So the change of the weather automatically makes you already go into that type of, you know, you already go into sickness in that time. Everybody get a sniffle here and there when the weather changes, man. You know? So now they're going to use that to their advantage and say, oh, Hansa 2.0, you know? So you gotta be able to piece these things together. You gotta see, this is why brothers say something big is coming, you know? This might be one of the things they use to have something big coming, along with everything else. Then you got drafts coming at the same time. Like, man, listen, yeah, that shit is crazy, right?
While this is a serious incident, WHO assesses the public health risk as low. It also shows why the international health regulations exist and how they work. WHO is working with multiple governments and partners on the response under those regulations. Our priorities are to ensure the affected patients receive care, that the remaining passengers on the ship are kept safe and treated with dignity, and to prevent any further spread of the virus.
I say this, you want to prevent the spread, grab them niggas and throw their asses overboard. Feed them to the sharks. Throw them overboard. You're good. You be all right. Come back without them. But of course, they're going to come back, you know. They're going to come back with the sickness, and then they touched 1,000 people, and 1,000 people touched 1,000 people, and you get it from there on. You see? I ain't even got to hear the rest of his voice. Oh, actually, that was the end of it anyway. Right? So, listen, man.
You know that
it's about to get real ugly. All right, let me grab a couple scriptures and I pull out. This is let me grab I'm gonna bring them out again. I already brought these out yesterday, but hey, the Spirit wanted me to bring them out again. Just Deuteronomy 28 and 40. Which is the one I'm looking for. 58. Matter of fact, let me grab this 52. All right, because we're gonna go back into lockdowns. And he shall be besieged, and he shall besiege thee and all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trusteth throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege, okay, thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah thy power has given thee. When you go into a siege is basically you being, you know, on a lockdown, okay? Right? It says, let me jump down to 58. It says, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah thy power, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance. You see, you're going to be miserably and unbearably sick. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Yeah, the pestilence gonna cleave onto you, man. You see, that's what the Lord does. When you doing wickedly, curses come upon you till they destroy you, man. So you're gonna have the pestilence cleave onto you, man. It says also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in this book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. So you're going to have new sicknesses, new variants. That's why you get them every year, new ones. You know, yeah, are they man-made, government-made, made up? Yeah, but it's still the spirit of the Lord putting it on the spirit of Esau to do these things, all right? And some of these actual things come up out of nowhere, man. You know, because you got this devils will go and drill a damn hole in Antarctica and a big ass fucking boulder of ice and say, I just took out the plague of 2 million years ago, which we ain't been here no 2 million years ago. But that's what he'll say. I pulled out a plague from 2 million years ago under the ice, you know, and that's just coming to attack you. You know, these things actually happen, man, because Esau always tampering with the earth, man, doing things he don't need to be doing. So you can't trust this devil. Right. And then on top of him making, you know, man-made shit, you know, man-made diseases. OK, so the pestilence will cleave onto thee, man. Right. Let's grab this. This is I'll end it with this. This is Jeremiah. Matter of fact, hold on. Leviticus. Let me grab Leviticus 26 and real quick. Where's it at? 16. This is an NLT. It says 15. It says, and if you shall despise my statutes, all right, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, excuse me, I will punish you. I will bring sudden terrors upon you, wasting diseases and burning fevers that will cause your eyes to fail and your life to ebb away. You see, and you will plant your crops in vain because your enemies will eat them. All right. But the main point is what we just read. He's going to bring wasting diseases, man. Okay. Let me see what else is in here. I think there's one more in here. Give me 1 second. Nah, let's go to Jeremiah, and I'll end it with that. This is Jeremiah 28:8, and it Jeremiah 28:8, and it reads, the prophets of old, I mean, Salaki, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. You see? Meaning what? Disease, man. And we've been telling you that these things are going to come upon us, man. All right. We've been telling you these things. Elders and apostles been telling you this for 40 plus years. A lot more prophets being woken up in the Great Awakening. All right. around that time of 2019, 2020. They've been telling you since 2020 that we were going to come into a new pandemic, and another one that the first one was just a trial run, a test run to see where the hell your mind was and how much control you had. They had over you, you see? So this is what's coming, man. And we have to be awake to what's happening, man. Keep our eyes totally open. Keep our ears open, all right? And watch this devil's moves, man. Never trust thine enemy, because like iron rusted sows his wickedness. All right. So we know he conjuring some bullshit up. All right. We just got to stay prayed up. All right. Keep the whole armor of truth on us. Keep the whole armor of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, so we're able to what? You know, dodge the strategies of the devil, of this damn devil. You know, we're able to dodge the fiery darts of the wicked. We're able to stand up against the wiles of the devil. All right. So I'm going to leave it there through the spirit. Lord willing that you were edified. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who were well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Aquath that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Just continue to learn the silence, watching the true men of the Lord. Amen. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Continue to protect you and your households, all right, at all times. And may he keep the angels around us, all right, encampeth around those that fear the Lord, all right, and keep us safe from all things, as the scriptures say. The name of the Lord is a safe tower, all right. The righteous man runneth into it and is safe, all right. So we're good. We ain't got nothing to worry about. Just watch the Lord bring. As a matter of fact, I'll leave you with this precept that just popped up in my head. I think that's Psalms 93. Psalms 93 and is it? Hold on. 1,000 shall fall by thy side, KJV. 91, Psalms 91 and 7. It says, 1,000 shall fall by thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. See, you're going to see people dropping. You're going to see people dropping. 1,000 drop by your side, 10,000 dropping next to you. All right. Which that could go also into, you know, spiritual power. All right. Depending how you bring it out in context. All right. Because it's a twofold, but hey, 1,000 people gonna drop from pestilence right by you, man. 10,000 by your side, man. All right, but it's not gonna come nigh to thee. Why? Because we have the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah to protect us, man. So we're gonna always be protected. All right. So I'm gonna leave it at that through the spirit. Shalom. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. The water Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah for resting upon me to make this lesson. Shalom Malak Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Shalom, sister Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.